Hey guys, what's up everyone? This is another review from GizChina Germany, and today it's all about the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro. I'm pretty sure you guys remember the Xiaomi Mi Note, which we tested a few months back, which was their newest their latest device placed within the Mi range. And while they introduced the Xiaomi Mi Note, they also announced a better spec version with a Snapdragon 810 SoC, 4GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 64GB of EMMC 5.0 memory. And actually that's the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro, which we are having a look at today. So let's get right into the review. What you see here is the packaging of the phone and all the accessories you get with it. So finally Xiaomi changed to a black box from their brown ones, which got a little boring with time, with a simple Mi logo on top of there. Some specs on the rear along a Xiaomi certification that this is a real Xiaomi device, and inside we get some documentation and a micro USB cable, and as well as a wall charger. And the phone itself, that's typical for Xiaomi devices, you never get that much accessories with them. So let's have a look at the design immediately, and well, as we are used to from Xiaomi, the Mi Note Pro has a very nice and elegant quality design, just like the Xiaomi Mi Note. It looks pretty much similar. There are no differences, just the frame is golden. And well, the front and rear is white. The front glass is made from a 2.5D curved glass featuring Gorilla Glass 3. And well, we have some very subtle sensors going on here. There also is a status LED, which you can see right now, the Mi logo. And we also have back illuminated touch buttons below the screen, which actually aren't too bright but neither too dark. You can see them all the time, which is pretty good. The bezels around the screen are very slim as well. The rear is covered with a glass panel as well, and it's actually a 3D glass, how Xiaomi calls it. It's it features slight curves to the left and right side, which makes the phone appear slimmer than it actually is. The phone is 7mm in thickness on its thickest part, and well, the weight is 163 grams. Unfortunately, I'm not all that satisfied with the build quality. Basically, I was with the Mi Note, but for this beauty you pay more than 500 euros or more than $600 US. The build quality isn't on par with the price tag. The gaps between the glass and the frame are different. As you can see, they are not the same everywhere. And also the phone can be bent fairly easy, as you can see here. Well, usually that doesn't bother me much, but with all the glass going on here, I'm not sure if this is good, if a phone can be bent that easily. If you sit down on it, I think it's pretty easy to shatter the glass, so that's definitely not a good thing here. And another thing I dislike, which I disliked actually on the Mi Note already, is that the surface on the rear is way too slippery. There really is no resistance. You can easily slide it across smooth surfaces. And that's a big problem, because if the surface you lay it down on has a slight angle into any direction, the phone will start moving very slow, and well, this will cause it to drop off the surface at some point. And that happened numerous times to me already. And well, that's obviously not good for your phone. So Xiaomi really should have done some coating or something on the rear here, but they somehow didn't, which really is a pity. Next topic is the screen, and well, it's a pretty impressive screen. We have a 5.7-inch panel here, which is huge, yet still the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro isn't much larger than any 5.5-inch device is. As you can see when I place the Elephone P7000, which has a 5.5-inch panel on top of it. They're pretty much the same in terms of size. But the specs of the panel is where the real interesting stuff starts. We have 2K resolution here, which results in amazing pixel density. You really can't see pixels at all. You can really touch the screen with your nose and you won't see any pixels. You can even take macro shots with your camera and you won't see any pixels. Let me come a little closer with the camera. Here you see it for yourself. Everything is really crisp and sharp on here. That's really great. We also have a 95% NTSC color gamut coverage here, which means that you really can display a lot of colors and they look very natural and realistic. That's really nice. Another thing I love about the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro's panel is its contrast ratio. It's 1400 to 1. Usually you get around 1000 to 1 on phones, so that's again pretty impressive. And also we have a different screen technology than most other phones here. It's a negative LCD panel, which actually is supposed to be more energy efficient than other 2K panels or other LCD panels. The result really is a very good image quality and, well, it just looks gorgeous. The only thing which I have to complain about is the brightness of the screen. Don't get me wrong, at full brightness it's just enough, even for outdoor usage. But you always have to keep it at maximum brightness, because if you throttle down the brightness a bit, it will become too dark fairly quickly. So that's not good at all, and really takes or consumes a lot of energy, even if we have the negative LCD technology going on there. And actually the sunlight display technology Xiaomi announced recently doesn't change much about that. It does slightly improve outdoor readability, but it's by far not as impressive as they advertised it to be, or as some reviewers out there advertise it to be, who usually get very excited about stuff that isn't exciting at all. Anyway, back to the screen. The touch panel is another thing I like it. It's very precise, very responsive, very snappy. There's no input lag and that stuff. It's very smooth too, and pretty scratch proof as well, thanks to Gorilla Glass 3. So I really like that panel all in all. Well, let's get to specs now, and that's unfortunately where amazing stops, because, well, on the paper the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro looks stunning. We have a powerful Snapdragon 810 64-bit SoC with 8 cores and big little architecture on there. We have 4 GB of fast LPDDR3 RAM, which theoretically reaches more than 30 GB per second of bandwidth, and we also have 64 GB of eMMC 5.0 memory, which is a lot faster than the older eMMC standard. But in reality, this hardware combination is absolute garbage. Despite the very nice cooling solution Xiaomi threw in here, which is the most advanced cooling solution of all Snapdragon 810 based phones, the chipset still overheats. It still has the same issues as on any other phone. After a while, the cores start to clock down, and after a further while, all A57 cores will be disabled, leaving you with a quad-core A53 SoC with a monster GPU. So, well, I'm not sure if anyone wants that, but actually the performance is getting worse than a Snapdragon 801, and it gets even worse than a MediaTek MT6752 SoC. So that's really not good at all, especially for a device priced at more than $600. Another thing I noticed here is that the LPDDR4 RAM inside of there is unusually slow. It's far away from reaching 30 GB per second. It's even slower than some LPDDR3 RAM chips, for example in the Mi Note or in the Lenovo K3. I don't know why that is, but the bandwidth never goes above 5 GB per second there, and probably the overheating chip is the reason for that. Anyway, that's not good at all, and they really shouldn't have thrown in LPDDR4 RAM if you cannot even make use of it. Also, they advertise the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro to stay very cool even after minutes of gaming. The phone is supposed to never go above 36 degrees, but that's bullshit. partially the phone gets so hot that you can't touch it anymore. It can reach above 70 degrees, which is insane for a smartphone and is the highest temperature I've ever seen on a smartphone. So that's actually pretty insane what's going on here. Also, the advertised Antutu score can't be reached in real life. They advertise something like 51k in Antutu or so, and well, you can reach that in a fridge. Actually, you can reach up to 60,000 points in a fridge. But what's the point of it? In real life, you will never reach more than 45,000 points in Antutu. And it's more like in between 38,000 and 45,000 points. Well, at least the memory is pretty fast, lives up to its promises with reading speeds of up to 248 megabytes per second and writing speeds of 122 megabytes per second. But all in all, this one is one huge failure in my opinion, and the normal Mi Note with a Snapdragon 801 SoC is by far faster yet cheaper. And from hardware we are getting to software right away, and it doesn't look much different there because I didn't like it at all. If you know me, you know that I'm a huge MyUI fan or MIUI fan. I'm using that system since day one of my smartphone career. Actually, when I first used MIUI, Xiaomi didn't even build smartphones back then. So I really am a fan. I love this operating system on a mobile, but I don't like it at the Mi Note Pro at all, because for the Mi Note Pro there is no stable international MIUI version available. It's a developer version, a beta version, and you definitely notice that since for the past few updates, the software is running extremely unstable. The phone often crashes in standby mode and suddenly reboots, or gets stuck at all and then starts to get really, really hot for some reason. And so far, it doesn't seem like it will get fixed too soon. Well, it got a little better with the latest update, but it's still not completely fixed. Maybe this also is a hardware defect due to the immense heat produced by the SoC, but even if it is, that isn't much better, to be honest, because that would mean that a lot of Xiaomi Mi Note Pro devices could potentially die a sudden death due to heat, and that's a really bad thing to happen in my opinion. Another important thing to mention on the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro are its audio capabilities, because this one comes with a dedicated audio chipset and 2 amplifiers. And well, those deliver a very nice audio quality through the headphone jack. It's really a lot of fun using proper headphones with it or plugging it into your home hi-fi system. It really sounds pretty amazing. Lots of powerful, a very powerful audio output, very balanced, very clear. It just sounds amazing. But unfortunately, the internal speaker somehow can't handle the dedicated audio processor. It sounds pretty okay until about 40% of the maximum volume. But as soon as you reach, if you set the volume higher, it starts to distort, and at about 80% of the maximum volume you get a loud, strange noise, but no music anymore, and it actually hurts in the ears. That's not nice at all. The Xiaomi Mi Note with Snapdragon 801 sounded very, very good, but this doesn't. I think it's because the speaker is the same as in the Mi Note, but it can't handle the powerful output of the chip, so it's underdimensioned. That means Xiaomi should have built in another speaker inside of there, which they apparently didn't. So they missed that apparently and did a huge mistake here. So audio quality really sucks considering the pricing of this phone. Well, at least audio quality of the internal speaker. What's with audio quality during phone calls? Well, on a very high level, as you would expect it from a high-end phone. We have 2 microphones here. One is hidden under the speaker grill and one is hidden here in the frame, which is a noise cancellation microphone, and together they really provide superior telephony quality. But unfortunately, you sometimes kill the noise cancellation of this phone, because the microphone for the noise cancellation is placed here, and if you press that on your ear, you sometimes cover the microphone with your ear, and that means that noise cancellation won't work anymore, and well, audio quality during phone calls sucks then. I would have preferred if they would have placed that noise cancellation microphone on the rear of the device or here next to the headphone jack, where it's safe from being covered. Reception quality is something I just talk short about it because, well, at 500 euros or 600 bucks, you really can expect superior reception quality, and that's the case here. There are no issues at all, be it Wi-Fi or mobile networks. Anyway, no LTE band 20 at 800 MHz is supported, but that's something pretty much all Xiaomi fans are used to right now, so that's probably not too bad and was to expect. And well, GPS is working just fine as well. Next topic is camera, and I have to admit that I'm surprised again and again and again what stuff you can do with a camera sensor just by improving its software and the optics. Well, the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro actually comes like the normal Mi Note with a Sony IMX214 sensor, which is combined with 6 lens elements and an optical image stabilizer. And well, even though we all know the Sony IMX214, this sensor yet again managed to outperform some other Sony IMX214 based phones. Sharpness is simply outstanding, and the amount of details you get in pictures, colors look stunning, contrast is amazing. It really is a lot of fun going on to a photo taking tour with the Xiaomi Mi Note. It's really fun. I can't tell anything else. Even in low light conditions, the camera performs outstandingly well. Also, HDR shots look simply stunning, especially during sunset, but it's sometimes a little hard to get sharp pictures. Anyway, that's not much of an issue. Just try 2 or 3 times and you will get a sharp one. What I also like is the shutter time. You press the button and you instantly get a picture. There really is no waiting time at all, which really is amazing. And also the focus is so fast. You simply tap the thing you want to get sharp and boom, there it is. Within way below 1 second, you get a sharp picture, so that's pretty good as well. Videos look gorgeous as well, especially in 4K mode. Great picture quality, great audio quality, and well, the microphones actually are good enough for concert recordings, and you even can upload 4K videos to YouTube without converting them, which isn't possible with all phones. The front camera is kind of an ultra pixel front camera with 4 megapixels, but delivers outstanding picture quality. Really, this is the best front camera I've ever seen on a phone in general, not only Chinese phones. Really sharp pictures, lots of details, and that applies even to pictures taken in low light, which is very unusual for a front camera. And well, the only thing missing here is a front LED flash, since that would be the perfect selfie phone then. So we hit already the latest topic of this review, and that's the battery. Xiaomi advertises the Mi Note Pro to come with a 3% larger battery compared to the normal Mi Note, which, well, is only 3090 milliamps. Well, sounds like a lot, but in fact it isn't, because the battery life is catastrophic. The 2K screen, the SoC, the audio hardware, and the bad optimized software really, well, is noticeable in terms of battery life, because it's pretty much impossible to get throughout the day with proper usage of the phone. Sometimes I had to recharge up to 3 times a day, which is insane. And well, running the Geekbench 3 battery test resulted in like 3 hours of screen on time at lowest screen brightness. And let me just show you what lowest screen brightness mean. Yep, you barely can't see anything anymore. That really sucks. And really, if you pull up the screen brightness to 50%, which is about this, you get about well, close to an hour of screen on time, so not really usable. And well, the efficiency score, you can imagine it already, of Geekbench 3 isn't much better. it's 1936 points, which is the worst score I have seen to date. So in fact you can't get throughout one day with this phone unless you disable everything you don't need, put the screen brightness to the lowest settings, which means you look at a black screen under direct sunlight, and obviously just use your phones for a couple of seconds per hour. Really not usable at all. At least the battery charged fairly quick at 1 hour 30 minutes thanks to Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0, but well, that's not of much use as well. So here's my final conclusion about the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro. Actually, I can't give you a purchase recommendation this time. This really is a bad try to, at any cost, try to make a phone that's a very good phone even better by throwing in some over-dimensioned killer specs, which doesn't make much sense at all, because if something is very good, it's very hard to make it even better, at least with the development stage of phones we reach today. We simply get cooling issues with even more processing power, as you can see with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 810. So actually they combine some specs here which they can't control, which get too hot, which can't live up to what they could do because of the limitations due to the heat, and obviously the battery is too small as well for all those specs inside of there. So in the end, this phone compared to the normal Mi Note with Snapdragon 801 is completely bad. It sucks. If I would be you, I would go for the Xiaomi Mi Note. You really get a much better phone for less money there. If you go for the Xiaomi Note Pro, it's like you would throw your money out of the window, basically. So, well, really give that a second thought before you purchase the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro. So that's it for the review. I hope I was able to help you with it and with your decisions. If you liked it, don't hesitate to leave a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to the channel. If there are any questions left, make sure to drop them below the video into the comments area. And if you like in general what we are doing at GizChina Germany, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter as well. You will now receive a performance demo of this handset, and I say bye bye, over and out.